So we're going to continue building the OWL project. As you noticed right here, what I have is I've populated all of my categories, my 5 categories: food, countries, lifespan, species, and size. And each of them have 5 or more questions in them about their related areas. What we're going to do now is over here in the left area, there's a link that says back to project. I'll click that. And this time we're going to go to the next box, which is learn and test. So I'll click that. And we're on this page that says machine learning models. Tells us what we've done. We've collected examples of text for a computer to use to recognize when text is food, countries, and our other categories. It shows us the number of examples that we have in each category. And what we want to do right here is click the blue Train New Machine Learning Model button. This will take a little bit of time. All right, so it looks like our page has loaded and we see that our current model status is available, which means that we are ready to build. So we're going to go back up to the left area and we'll click back to project. And this time we're going to click make. And from the make area, we're going to choose the first selection, which is Scratch 3. We'll click Scratch 3. And once the page loads, we'll click Open in Scratch 3. We're going to go over to the project templates, which is on the menu bar. So that would be the 1, 2, 3, 4th selection. And we're going to look for owls. We could actually just search that. And we're going to click on the owl template. And we have all of this code loaded. This yellow box right here says this broadcast speak block makes the owl move its beak while it's talking. It's fun, but you don't really need to include this. So it lets us know what this little block is. And this is just a comment. I'm just going to minimize that comment. So what we'll do now is we'll start to code this. We'll go over to the code tab and we'll look at our categories. And we're going to go to the 5th category, which is control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Control, which is a orangish color. We'll click on that and we'll grab the if then block, which is 1, 2, 3, the 4th block, and we'll put that on our page like that. We'll now go to the operators category, which is the green category, and we're going to grab the equal block, which is the 8th block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equals 50, and we're going to pop that in between the if then. The next thing we'll do is we're going to go to our variables section, which is the orange block, a little bit oranger than the control, but it's all the way at the bottom, right above my blocks. I'll click variables, and I'm going to grab the 3rd block, which is set owl says to 0. And I'll pop that in right in between, right under the if then. The next thing that we'll do is we're going to go to the sensing category, which is right above operators, the cyan color. I'll click that, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 block is this little answer nugget. And I'm just going to leave that right there for now. We'll need that in a moment, but we'll leave it there for now. The next thing is we're going to go all the way to the bottom. If we notice all the way at the bottom here, we have a category called OWL. So this is our machine learning model that we created. This doesn't normally show up in Scratch, but because we're making a machine learning model or an AI device, a chatbot, we have this extra category that we can use now. So I'm going to click on the OWLs category, and I'm going to grab the very first block, which is recognize text label, and I'm going to drag that over on my screen. And right here, where I have the blank equals 50, I am going to move that on the left side of the equal sign. And I'm going to take the answer nugget and put it right there where it says text. And I'll just erase that 50 for now. The next thing that I am going to do is I am going to duplicate this block of code 4 times. So I'll right click on it and click duplicate and attach it to the bottom. Right click and duplicate. If you notice, I duplicated that time 2, so I have 4, and I just want one more, so I'll duplicate that So I should have 5 of these if-then blocks. So if recognize text answer label equals blank, set owl says to 0. I should have 5 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're ready to move on. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to stay in my owls category, and I'm going to start with each of my categories. So food, countries, lifespan, species, size. I'm going to put each one of these on the opposite side of the equal sign for each if-then statement. So I'll take food, and I'll put it in the first one. Countries, I'll put it in the second one. Lifespan in the third one. Species in the fourth, and size in the fifth. So now my code looks like that. So what we will do now is type in the response for the answers for each of the categories, what the owl will say if the question pertains to food, countries, lifespan, species, and size. What I'll do is for the first one, food, I'm just going to do a quick Google search on what do owls eat. So what I have here, owls spend much of their waking time hunting for food. Many owl species are carnivores or meat eaters. Small rodent-like mammals such as voles and mice are the primary prey for many owl species. An owl's diet may also include frogs, lizards, snakes, fish, mice, rabbits, birds, squirrels, and other creatures. I'm just going to highlight all of this and copy it. And I'll go back to Scratch. And where that 0 is under food, I'm just going to paste that in there. If you noticed, my screen got really, really long, and it looks kind of crazy, but that's how it works. We'll do the same thing with countries. I'll do a Google search. Where do owls live? Owls live everywhere in the world except Antarctica. Their habitat includes desert, prairies, even the Arctic tundra. They nest in trees, holes in the ground, in barns, and in caves. We'll go back, and where it says countries, I'll paste that in. Do the same with lifespan. And I found this website. It says on average owls live 9 to 10 years. Owls in captivity live 28 years. Go back to Scratch, paste that in. Species. So if we look up here, there are about 250 species of owls in the world. They live on every continent except Antarctica. I'll copy that, paste that in for species and size. And we have this result for the size range of owls. The size range of owls is about the same as that of their day active counterparts, the hawks, with lengths of about 13 to 70 centimeters, which is 5 to 28 inches, and the wingspan between 0.3 to 2 meters, which is 1 to 6.6 feet. Most owl species are at the lower end of the range size. We'll copy that and paste that by the size. So what we'll do now is we'll take all of these blocks, these if blocks, and we're going to put them underneath ask, owl says, and wait. So right there, we'll snap that in there, and we'll go all the way down to the bottom, and it says set owl says to sorry I haven't been taught anything yet. We're going to take that out and just delete it. Now we are ready to test our chatbot. So I'm going to click on the full screen. We'll click on the green flag. Let's ask the owl if he eats hot dogs. Owls spend most of their, so it tells us that owls spend most of their time hunting for food. So we got the correct answer. Let's try another question. So I typed, do owls live in New Jersey? It says owls live everywhere except, so we have the correct answer. So you'll test this to see if your model works. Once again, there's the code. So what you want to do with your code, because this does not save automatically, first of all, you want to give your project a name. I recommend you give your project a name such as your name. I'll call this Mr. Evans Owls. And I'm going to click File, Save to your computer. Make sure you know where you're saving this. I'll click Save. I recommend you also upload this to your Google Drive. That way, if anything happens to your computer, it doesn't get lost. To upload it to your Google Drive, you'll just open your Google Drive. If you have a specific folder that you want to save it in, you should navigate to that folder. So I'm going to go to the folder where I want to save this. So there's the folder, and over here I'll click New, File, Upload. I'll go to that folder where I save this, and there's the file. I'll click Open. That file is uploaded. What you should also do is go to Google Classroom and post this code into the assignment in Google Classroom. So inside Google Classroom, I'll go to Owl's Chatbot code, and I'll click View Instructions. I'll click Add or Create. I'll click Google Drive. Remember, we put that in Google Drive. And because we just put that in there, it shows up in Recent. I can click there. I'll click Add, and we'll click Turn In. If you have any questions, send me an email or comment in Google Classroom.